welcome to this presentation, Taxation for Businesses. The objective of this model is to help managers plan the impacts of taxation on their businesses and to help them take advantage of tax reliefs and concessions available to them, also making them tax compliant. Taxes are the main sources of revenue for many governments the world over. A tax is a compulsory levy imposed on the income, wealth, and expenditure of taxpayers. Taxpayers could be individuals or business entities. And the payment of taxes are civic responsibilities of taxpayers. Taxes could be classified as direct or indirect. Direct taxes are taxes paid on the income and the wealth of taxpayers. Talking about income, this means taxpayers who earn income need to pay taxes on them unless these incomes are tax exempt. When individuals earn income like wages, salary, or even gifts, once these income are not tax exempt, they are expected to pay taxes on them. The gift tax, pay as you earn, are good examples of individual direct income taxes. When business organizations also earn income, once this income are not tax exempt, they are expected to pay taxes on them. The tax laws allow some expenses, once they meet certain criteria, to be deducted from the income before arriving on the profit for the period, which is taxed. A popular example of a direct business income tax is the corporate income tax, CIT. Now, on the wealth, any taxpayer who makes profits from the sale of any asset would have to pay taxes on the profit made. I must hasten to add that there are few exceptions to this kind of taxes, and it differs from country to country. A good example on taxes paid on the wealth is the capital gain tax. Now, let us turn our attention to indirect taxes. This kind of taxes seem to be inevitable because they are consumption taxes. You can't simply do away with them because every individual or taxpayer consumes. And once you consume, you pay this kind of taxes, howbeit indirectly. That is why it's called an indirect tax. A good example of indirect taxes are value-added tax, excise duty, customs duties, import duties, export duties, just to mention a few. In these days of COVID-19, business managers want ways to avoid payment of unnecessary taxes. And rightfully so, especially in these times where money is hard to come by. Businesses are struggling to survive. They are really struggling with their finances. This objective can be achieved in two ways, either the right way or the wrong way. The legally accepted way or the illegal way. The legally accepted way is tax avoidance. However, the illegal way is called tax evasion. Let's take it one after the other. Tax avoidance is the practice of identifying and taking advantage of legal provisions that reduce the tax liabilities of companies, thus taking advantage of the tax law provisions to pay lower or no taxes. It could be achieved through tax planning, such as hanging on purchasing behavior, taking advantage of tax reliefs, taking advantage of tax concession and other incentives such as location, business type, etc. government COVID-19 tax supports for individuals and businesses, filing and payment of tax returns as required to avoid penalties. Just note that penalties are not tax deductible, so they become extra costs on your business. Try to avoid them. Tax evasion, on the other hand, is the practice of using fraudulent means to pay lower taxes or none at all. It is criminal and attracts sanctions from the Revenue Authority and even the court of law. Typical examples of tax evasion could be keeping more than one set of accounts for business transactions and records, making false financial statements, either understatement of revenues or overstating your expenses, undertaking trade exchange, that is, barter trades, providing goods and service for one person in exchange for another goods and service, failure to submit final accounts or file your returns on due dates. All these examples of tax evasions. How do businesses and individuals benefit from taxation at all? 1. Aside the government's use of taxes to provide public goods that benefit all citizenry, tax laws provide tax concessions for specialized organizations, institutions, or location. This is meant to reduce the tax liabilities of business organization. And only those who file their taxes could take advantage of these tax concessions. Individual taxpayers have reliefs that they can apply for to reduce their tax liabilities. General tax relief packages are meant for the citizens who file their taxes. To conclude, we would need you, our business managers, to look out for the provisions that your governments have made for businesses like yours in these times of COVID. You could visit your revenue office in your country to inquire more. Thank you.